Hello, hi, how is everyone? Thank you for watching my videos. Please keep on subscribing, keep on sharing with colleagues. Yeah, and recommend my videos to so many people as you can. Please like, share, hit the notification button such that you can be the first one to know when I post a new video. Yeah, today I've come for another interesting discussion and presentation which I think you'll be interested to know about it. I want us to talk about the term neocolonialism. We won't talk about colonialism, however much it was re-engineered and remanufactured into a new context known as neocolonialism. And I'm here to try and digest what's meant by that, because we need to really understand and wake up our minds. So I will try to be more precise. Neocolonialism, I remember the first leaders we had after independence. You know, these colonialists gave us independence, not because they wanted or they were ready to leave us or to let us govern ourselves, no. But they went bankrupt, they could no longer hold on to the territories. After the Second World War, they could no longer hold on to the territories they had under their grip. So what they did was to set up a African monarchies, set up countries of which they knew very well that they could not work. So for us to refer to them all the time, we'll be running to them for solutions all the time. So let's take an example like Uganda. Uganda had its own way of governance. Everyone was there. The Baganda had their thing, Watoro, Nyoro, all the tribes, and the Basoga. In the north, they had their community groups, and that's why you see even the land is shared by communities. But now, when they came, they binded us into something, and they twisted us because when you go through the history, our elders didn't want this system we are in. But for them, they knew if we bring these people together, they will not agree. So by bringing them on board, it created a very, very bad scenario. A very, very so they created something that was very, very, very hard for us to understand. Being this thing of politics, it wasn't known to everyone. Not everyone, every peasant was familiar with it. So they knew we won't conquer well with the new system they had brought. And you remember, we were not prepared for it. We were not prepared. The people that were working for them, they are the ones that they transferred power to. Those people were already, they already corrupted with power. You know, power corrupts. Power corrupts. Even if you go there with the good intentions, there's somehow you start feeling like a god. So I'm going to start and talk about some things. Africa, from the day we got the independence, assassinations started, coups started. From the late 1950s, people had already started to kill each other. That's just for positions. Those things were there before, but they were fighting for territories, not power. Because power in the African traditional society, power was shared among the elder men of the societies. Either we had our small groupings that they used to handle us the way we were supposed to. But now when they brought these new things that we are not familiar with, power, kina constitution, so many things. So and we are excited. So everyone was excited. They thought it would bring power to everyone who was in control. Like Obote came in, he thought it's going to be, the Alpha and Omega. But what happened to them? What didn't come into his mind was that the same people that brought him, the same people can bring another one. Now what we have in Africa, all our leaders are being controlled. All of them. All of them are being controlled in one, either Langley, Virginia, Scotland Yard, in London, Tel Aviv, Mossad, all of them are being controlled somewhere. So now these are the leaders we look up to for solutions. Yet they are also stooges of the foreign regimes. So that this implies what I want to try to open your mind up to. We have never been independent, and according to where things are, we will never be independent. That's a bitter truth. Because the way things are going, you look at the foreign aid, we shall look at that foreign aid as a topic on itself. And I'll try to bring out why I'm saying this. I want you to be clean. Those Thomas Sankara was killed. Lumumba was assassinated. This guy of Mozambique, I forgot the name. He was also assassinated. Assassination started. After assassinations, coups started. So, and the other things they were all masterminded by the foreign regimes. They were all masterminded by. So these are the people, the same people that they thought they gave us independence. In actual they didn't. Actually, some of them, it was just pressure from the Roosevelt government that for us to give you aid from America, you need to give up those territories you had and give them independence. It was one of the Marshall plans. They used to call it Marshall Plan. So I think we are clear about that. We have never been independent, and these whites, I don't want to call them whites, these colonialists, only thing they care about is us being under them and controlling our resources. So I was trying to tell you. So I want to for us to look at now in Africa. We have civil wars. Some coming as terrorists, Sumanya, Al Shabaab. Almost all the African countries, every country has a landmine. They left there a landmine. They knew at some point it will have to explode. I want to start with Libya. Libya was very good. It was a country every African president was looking up to. Leaving alone all this myth of democracy, Akinawad, because democracy is just a myth. Even themselves, they don't have democracy. They are just lying to us. Democracy is not there. I want someone to challenge me. We sit down and discuss what's democracy. I bring the facts I have about all those systems that we call the developed countries. No, there's no democracy. There is always a stable, there must always be a stable state. These other leaders can come and go, but the other people that decides what's going to happen, the people with the vision of the country, they are not changeable. So when you see somewhere, that's why you have wars in Africa, because our states are just still in formation. They haven't yet been formed well yet. So we are still in those early stages. Even America had a civil war. So after the civil war, they agreed and the state was formed. That's why you see now they can change the leaders. Trump wanted to usurp powers, but he failed because the state is more stronger than anyone. Because they built it that way. No one can disrupt their system, however strong you are. So I want to talk about now. I was talking about Libya. Libya was good. They came in. They engineered that revolution. What the Arab Spring? Because the people that started that riot. Actually, they were not from Libya. If you guys can recall very well, those guys came in. They came in through the Red Sea. They were not Libyans. The people that started that ignited the revolution. So you see now how those people that were on the street, Saudi Arabia was paying them, and when you see Saudi Arabia, that's America and Israel. So they were paying those people that were on the street every day. They used to feed them, give them almost everything they need. So when Gaddafi tried to bring in mercenaries and what, NATO declared a no-flight zone. That's what the end of the guy. So and he was killed because he didn't want anyone to oppose their rule. And now everyone I think knows the condition and how Libya is right now. Another country is South Sudan. South Sudan was formed on a basis they wanted it to work as a buffer. They wanted to prevent these Islamic fundamentalists from coming down here in the Central Africa. They didn't want us. Didn't want us to adapt to those. I don't want to call it North Sudan, but that's main Sudan. Most of 90% of them are Muslims, so they didn't want us to also to adapt to that. That's why they had to cut. They had to 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 split into that Sudan, and that South Sudan has more natural resources. So by disorganizing the whole Sudan, they had to get they got access to the minerals and the resources, the oil and others. So that was the plan. Up to now, you see the wrangles. Garanga was killed in Uganda. Garanga was killed in Uganda because Garanga didn't support an independent South Sudan. For him, he was advocating for a fair Sudan. He didn't want to split. So that's the difference you have to understand. He was going against his masters. Remember, these guys were financing the war through Uganda. So when he disagreed with them, he had to get out of the picture. So now they have kept the war for all this time. Because they are the one behind the Macha and the same guys behind Salva Kiir. So now it will not end. And they are doing this at the expense of the local people, of the natives. This is what I want. This is why I want you to open your eyes and try to understand. When you see Muzung on the road, don't think he likes you. Don't think he even cares about what you're going through. He's just there. He just looks at you and your resources, and he feels like you're not even supposed to be living. You have to die. They look at like animals. You need to understand that. However much you do good, however much you speak English very well, however much you dress up very well, you will always be primitive in their eyes. Another country, Mozambique. As in the early 60s, I forgot Samora Machel, yes. That guy who was assassinated, we call Samora Machel. The guy was killed in those early ages. Why? Mozambique is very strategic. So when now you see they have issues of small so-called rebels, they are not there. And when you see Kagame, I won't talk about it. Let me leave that. I still want to leave. So Ethiopia now Tigray wants to be in an independent country. That's tribe. Ethiopia is one of the largest countries with the largest population in Africa, almost 114 million people. So I think he's over second, over third. They are competing with Egypt. Egypt is also around 100 plus million. So with that number of people and the land they are occupying, you see where the European interest comes in. So now if they split that, they don't want bigger territories. They want small goods. They give you a country, you feel like, you have to thank them everything they've given you. So you give everything to them, sign contracts, trade deals, everything. You just give in everything because you feel like they are your. If they are not around, you're no more. So you think that they protect you, they do what? So I think that's why they engineered that civil war. And I'm sure, I don't know how it will end, but soon enough it will end. But these guys, as if they want to control their own territory, those Tigray guys. By the way, in power for almost 30 years, you know. Now they can't even be out of power for just 10 years, 20. So that's a challenge with Africans. Another country, this Paul Biya's Cameroon, Ibanang. Cameroon, the guy has ruled for Cameroon for almost 40 years. He can't even walk by himself, but he's always in France. He comes in Cameroon on a vacation, like you come on the weekend. The country is just there. No one is even, no one. You just can't imagine how these guys are doing, what these guys are doing to us. But he's being hosted in France. That's where he lives all his time. He's always sick. He's always in, in hospitals. France, not even in Cameroon. I don't think he has even ever gone to Cameroon for treatment. So these are the people. But this is what I'm telling you. For them, they prefer that one who sells his own country to them. Another one is Somalia. Somalia's Al Shabaab is not there. Al Shabaab is not there. No one should lie about that. IGAD is another peacekeeping force in Africa. Was it IGAD? That's another. The one that involves Uganda, Ugandan forces, and Kenya and some other. It is being paid for by Americans. Turkey also went there, took troops there. It even built their national airport. So you see the foreign interest in that one also. So no one should tell you about Al Shabaab. These are interested. They create their own rebel groups when they want to venture into a certain location. Another one is Nigeria. Boko Haram will be there forever. After the Nigerian civil war, they knew that the only way to save that to save them from another civil war is to create a rebel group in one part of the region. So that's why they are killing girls, doing what everything. No one is even talking about the solution. Everyone is looking at the symptoms. Yeah, let's help people like this. Let's help the girls. Let's empower these. No one is talking about fighting the Al Shabaab and settle that matter. No one is talking about that. Even the Eco Mob, even the ECOWAS, no one is even you know now when it comes to African Union. African Union, remember we had OAU. OAU was actually the right organization to be, but they undermined it and created their own thing. That's why it is even paid for by the UN and America. It's even sponsored by America. And who pays the piper controls the tune. Everyone knows that. DRC, we can't even talk about that. We all know what's happening there. King Leopold controlled the DRC as his own territory for almost 30 years, decapitating people, taking every mineral they had, and now they are still taking. All oil deals, all gold deals, they all belong. Now you find UN cars going there to do what? Peacekeeping, yet there is no peace to be kept. So these are all the things I want us to understand. These guys are here for what we have, not for us. Another Egypt. I feel even sorry for that because I remember that guy died very, very. His story is very touching. He died very, very, very bad. Uh, he was the leader of the Muslim Brotherhood. He died in prison. He didn't do anything. They organized an uprising came. The president ran away. He came in through a vote. Actually, the military people, the military soldiers organized. After the departure, the departure of the president, they organized an election. The guy contested. He won. He was called Mosi something. The other name I forgot. The guy won the election. They didn't even allow him to go for even a year. They ousted the guy. They killed him. They did so many bad things to him because actually Egypt is one of the African countries that gets more aid from America. So now you understand why. After the killing of Anwar Sadat, they went into the armpits. Because I remember after the war, that Israeli war, that was fought over in 6 days, he had to go. Anwar Sadat had to go. They killed him. Now they control the whole state. They put their own people up to now. Because everyone that goes to Egypt, even the guy that is there now, forgot the name. I forgot the name. I forgot the name. This army man that is there is now controlling everything. Back to the ages of the, I don't remember their president. You know, I'll tell you when I remember. So that is still the problem there. South Africa, South Africa has never got even a leaf of independence. Or at least us, we can even celebrate some of our rich men. But South Africa is in a very, very, very dire state. You know Mandela, so many of you guys praise Mandela, but Mandela is a sellout. Mandela sold out their revolution. I repeat that. Mandela is a sellout. If it wasn't for Mandela, he even betrayed his own wife, he betrayed his own friends. They were killed. There is a commander, he was a commander of the ANC, armed wing. They were killed. I saw last time when Desmond Tutu died, everyone was praising him. Those were the same people that these Afrikaners used. Afrikaners, they are the whites in South Africa. They call them the Afrikaners. So those are the people that were used to curb that revolution. So now when you see Julius Malema trying to bring that back, Winnie Mandela tried to fight, but they were going to kill her. That's why Mandela divorced her. So that's how bad a hypocrite can be. That's how bad Mandela was a hypocrite. He sold his friends out. Now what's there? The state is still controlled. Even now, Zuma is being troubled with the cases of the Gupta family. The guy is still control the state. What was he fighting for? Just mere being president, just seeing you posing for pictures. I'm president. Doesn't matter if your people are still in the positions, in the poor state they were in before, even before. So another thing I want to talk about, another country. I'm still going country by country. Chati Mahatma Debi killed his own father on orders from France. And Macron was the first African president to go and legitimize Mahatma Debi. You know those names are hard. He was the first one to go there to legitimize the guy. The guy is now president. They don't even know what's going on. They don't even know whether the guy will organize elections or not. He's just there. So that's Africa, and that's how these guys want us. Burkina Faso, this is very recent. This is very recent. Genovachi, you know me, I don't believe in those ranks. Akina Damiba took power. But that's not the solution of Africa. It's not about taking power. It's not about who is in power. But what do you use with that power? That's all that matters. We all can't be in power. Now he's taken over. He's going to still be in the same position as the president he succeeded. The issues that were pertaining will still be there. And the African youth and the African child and the African mother is going to still go through the same hardships as our fathers went through, or even worse. That's the challenge now we have as young Africans. We need to empower ourselves. We need to open up our minds on the reality that's happening in Africa. Another country, Mali, Assimi Goita, also Assimi Goita also is one of the, the military personnel that have taken over, and I think he took over around May last year, around there, 2021. He took over power, but nothing has changed. He's not even bothered of what's next. Another one, what was in which country? What, Guinea? Yeah, Dumbuya. Why, he was around September, July. That's when he took over. So they are all doing the same things, but nothing is changing. From the ages of the 80s, 70s, 2022, still doing the same things, but nothing changes. They still work for the same master. That's why things are not changing. They're just changing the outfits, but the one controlling the state doesn't change. Tunisia, they overthrew Ben Ali. Now they went back. Because now I saw they have a referendum coming up, constitutional referendum. But the way you see things, the politics, how it is being done, still the same things that they went through. Kenya, they had a genocide, and another one is coming up if something is not done, because the country is always divided, and that's how they want it, and that's how they created it. I won't go deep into that and how they created it. Maybe it will be another video. Just keep on following. Uganda, my country, Uganda. Uganda has always been under their watch 24/7 ever since they came to Africa. Because remember, Uganda, specifically, Uganda was the only territory that wasn't colonized. It was signed as a protectorate. They went into an agreement as a protectorate, not a colony. Those were two different things. That's why they could even go to the Queen's. I won't call it the magister. They couldn't even go to the Queen's. They could even go to the Queen's courts to report if anything went wrong. That means they were not a colony. So from the medieval ages of as early as 1880s plus coming forward, they were already planning on how to disorganize Uganda and Uganda. And this is not going to stop. That's why every leader that comes starts from where the other stopped. And things are going to be like that. President in, president out, unless something changes. That's why a Muganda president is a hard one. They don't want him. Straight from the colonial office in England. They don't want him. Another thing, I will talk about Angola. Angola, Jonas Savimbi was killed in 2002 by Mossad. Information given by Mossad to the government troops that were looking for him. They give him in after negotiating a deal with the government. So Zimbabwe, they blacklisted Mugabe just because he gave out farms of formerly belonging to colonialists to the native Africans, the native Zimbabweans. So what we need to understand in this whole thing of neocolonialism, we should look for homegrown solutions. We should look for in ourselves. We should drop this thing of foreign aid. That's why they don't want locally made things. That's why they don't want you to set up an industry. They don't want you to build a refinery. Because now what will Total do if you can do everything by yourself in your country? So they have to to milk you, they have to exploit you, get all the resources they want from you. And what can an African youth do? Me as a person, the first thing I've done is to study how the things were done and how they can be reversed. Reversing them is hard, but we can try. The first thing we can do is to understand how they can be done. They were done. After understanding that, of which I'm trying to also tell you how they did it, after we understand how they did it, then we can move from that and see how can we deal with these people. How can we change the perception of Europeans who are colonists towards Africa? How can we stop them from seeing us as mere animals that can't even reason? How can we change that? Instead of going abroad to look for better working conditions, why can't we stay here and build our own thing? And if I build a company that does soap, another one constructs a car, starts up an industry that refines milk maybe to make other products, such that we cannot look up everything we need. We have our coffee, but the coffee has to be exported in a raw form, taken to England for them to return to us. I'm welcoming all your suggestions, reactions, questions, and advice as well. Yeah, we apologize for the inconveniences, if any, but please like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. It's Karibala Michael, political analyst, as usual. Not actually not only politics. Not only politics. We deal in so many things. Yeah, we look at finance. One day I'll come and I talk about the new world as we see it. Try to message to my fellow youth. Try to look as more information as you can. Educate yourself. Nothing you will ever give to yourself as educating your mind. Always reason. Always speak from a point of knowledge that will spare you from unnecessary arguments. Thank you so much for watching. I sign out. I love you so much.